Hello again, it's Wendy from Summer Bay Studio, and today I have something that just arrived in the mail, so I thought I would share opening it. Yeah, I love to see, well, don't we all love to get something in the mail? I know I sure do. I ordered these pieces from a new company I found actually that is in Canada, in fact in the next province over. So I'm really happy to be able to find it. And wow, I'm so excited. Oh, I got a new pen. Nice. It's from the Scrapbooking Fairies. And what I ordered was, let's see what we have in here. First of all, I ordered art glitter glue, which a lot of other crafters and junk journalists use for making journals because they say it's the best or they like it the best. And I also got Glossy Accents, clear dimensional medium, great for stamping and scrapbooking, dries to hard, clear, glossy finish, fine for precise application. Let's have a look at that. That should be fun. I like glossy things, and I like good glue. I also ordered this Stamperia set of papers, which is called Atelier des Arts. I think that's what it was called. Oh, come on, you would stick together over there. Here's my invoice. Oh, how pretty. So this is a set of cards. I have a good idea for these already. And these are chipboards, Atelier des Arts, that's what it's called. Chipboard pieces, all about art. That's what attracted me, because it's for artists and painters, and I hope I just didn't get glue on this. I don't think so. So here's the paper set, which I thought was so gorgeous. Well, I can only get in it. Wow, that's really good sticky stuff. All right, let's have a look. Where's the front? Here we go. Look at all these designs. Oh, they're so gorgeous. Just move that up a little bit. So 12 by 12 inch. Better get this off of here before I stick something onto it accidentally. Oh, look at all the ephemera. Look at all these pieces. Oh, they're so gorgeous. I love that there's the tubes of paint. That's so pretty. And then framed art, picture window, all these paint brushes. Those are for big paintings, I'll tell you, because if they're that big and you're using an easel, that's for making a big painting. And then they're double-sided. So here's the back of that other piece. And this one. Oh, this is so gorgeous, so gorgeous. This beautiful Japanese looking one. It is in spring when the art and rebirth of life begins. Well, it's springtime now, so it's a good time to begin something new. This is so pretty. This looks a bit like a Monet garden. Art is the essence of beauty. All these little sayings. Oh, what fun it must have been to design this. I love it. All these little pieces that could be anything. And famous paintings. These look like Van Gogh. Oh, and frames. I wonder how I'll use those. Can't wait to come up with something. And I love the suitcases. I actually have a collection of old suitcases, which I use to store my Christmas decorations mainly. But they also act as decor pieces. Wow, look at this marbled paper. And this is obviously an artist tabletop. Mine looks a lot like this sometimes. And there's the back of that one. And the color charts. Kind of an abstract piece with watercolor. And then the perfect little wall for storing things. And your little guy. I have one of these. See? This is for doing bodies. Mine's actually a female, you can tell. And there's still more. Old postcards, different paint tubes, scissors, brushes, flowers, pencils. I love it. I'm so excited about this. And I'm going to make something beautiful. So stay tuned and you'll see what that will be. Now I have this very beautiful piece of paper. It's just a light cardstock, and it has images on the back as well. And I have a plan for it, but I'm not going to do it today because I thought of something different. So the project I'm going to make today is a mini journal, and it's kind of an instant mini journal, you could say. I bought all these packages of little 6-inch squares recently. There were I forget how many, like a dozen in each package or something, and I loaded up on them, and I'm going to choose some that kind of work together, and then we're going to make an instant journal. So the packages did come in styles that work together, but I want to choose ones that are kind of compatible. That one maybe. I started at the bottom just because I knew what was there. I'm going for, in this one, kind of old-fashioned look. So that was kind of fun. I'm going to put this aside because I might want to cut some of those out, just fussy cut them. I don't want two the same, really. Let's see what else we've got here. Did I get that one already? It's a Russian newspaper. How interesting. Get one of those. A couple of these. And that one's pretty. I love the watercolor flower. Here's another pretty one. So obviously you can have as many pages as you want, and in fact the way I'm going to do this book means that you can have you can keep adding pages to this book, because sometimes you think, well, I mean I've been working on an altered book journal, and it has a limited amount of space, so you kind of have to plan the whole book ahead of time, and then fill it up with signatures or pages or whatever, and then start your decorating. And then sometimes it's like, okay, you ran out of space because you can't close the book. In this case, you'll always be able to close the book. Now, these are 6 inches square, and I'm just going to randomly pick a cover. I really like this one. So this will be my front, and this can also be changed at any time. And so I'm going to use these pages. I didn't even count them, doesn't matter. But I'm going to add some other papers in between. So what I need is my cutter. I might as well just go like this and start digging for paper. Now you can use any size you want. I can use one of those, for example. Maybe a couple of them. Yeah, maybe even some of those. Let's see. Let's toss those over there. There's just ordinary cardstock. This one has nice texture. It actually looks like a piece of watercolor paper. There's also some smaller ones. I might use some of that. And some of my book pages out of my altered book journal. And then some of these. I think that's probably enough. Lots of other things in here, but actually I'll do a couple of those too. This is from a planner. So this gives me a really good starting point. Put it over there. And what I want to do now is cut them into 6-inch squares. Now obviously they're not all going to be that way because these are smaller, which is fine, and these are too long, which is easily remedied down to 6 inches. So I'm going to start with that and just do a couple of those. Now you can tear them if you prefer. That's an easy choice. I'll maybe do a couple more because they kind of go with. I like a cutter because it's quick, but if you're inclined to want to tear things, that works as well. So those ones are ready. We'll move those out of the way. And let me see. I'm going to cut this side. And it has a fold in it. I wonder why. Oh well, it doesn't matter. And this is tea-dyed paper, which I then put in the oven, and in some cases kind of singed. So, you know, you can see that around the edge is a little bit browner. I'm going to cut these two at the same time, even though they're different, because this is just note paper and this is expenses and stuff, but I'm going to cut that. I'll cut that part off. So I'm just going to line, oh come on, the little doodads here get tangled up. So first of all, I'm taking this edge off, and we'll do the other side. Make sure we get it right there. I think it's going to end up, oh, that's close. Well, that's good. And over here, I'm going to come down a little bit so that it doesn't have that. Well, I'll show you what I cut off. I'll just square this one up again as well. There's another set of pages. And this one, because it's already 8.5 by 11, I think I'm going to do a 5.5 inch square. So they'll be a little bit smaller. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to make them. I'm making them 6 inches square because those other pieces can always be used for something else at some other time. Oh, this one's kind of wrecked. Oh, that's too bad. I wish I'd seen that. I'd have cut it the other way. So that's a nice one. And this is kind of an odd one. It's burned on one end and it's got flowers on the other. Let me see. I think I want the flowers. I think I'll keep the flowers. So I'll cut it on this side. Oh no. Maybe that's not going to be a problem. I hope my blade isn't getting too dull. Wait, I want it this way. I'll get this thing figured out one of these days. It's not cutting. I usually cut from the bottom up, and I bet that's what's going on. It's getting dull on one side. Plus it gets little bits of paper stuck in this groove. That makes a nice page. And this one, I'll cut off the burned part. So I'll do it this way. Start from the top now. I have to change my habit. I guess that shouldn't be too much trouble. Okay, forgot to turn my little lights on. And this is from the masterboard that I made a few weeks back, so you can find that video. I'll just put a link above here so you can find it easily. And it was super fun to make, and I've used it in different projects already, like this. So that makes a nice page there. And then we've got, well, not that one, this one. I might use this for something else. So here's a lot of extra ones. So before I put this away, I'm going to slot these together. And what did I do with my cover? Oh, here it is. I turned it upside down. Okay, so here's my cover. And then I'll put a page in, and another page, and a plain page, and one of these. And now these are just a light cardstock, so the weight of them is different. And these can be arranged however you want. You can spend a lot of time on it or hardly any at all. Let's do one of these ones. And that one, that one. And then I'll be able to see if I need to put more filler pages in. Put that in, that one, and the blue one. The great thing about this project is you can make changes anytime you want, because it's not going to be permanently bound. Now I do want a couple more pieces in here, so let me see what else I can find. I've got some scraps with some other projects. Oh, this is nice. How do you like this? With the gold sparkle on it. Let's do it. I think I want it this way. And this is just a piece of newsprint that I used as backing for something when I was experimenting, which I do frequently. So there's that one, and here's another one. I guess I want this part cut off. And this is another piece that was from one of my watercolor videos from sometime in 2020. I forget exactly when. But what cool stuff this is, hey? It's like a palm leaf in watercolor. So there's a few more. Let's do this. I want to insert the glitter paper, not both in the same place, obviously. That would be kind of weird. Looks like I even need more. Look at this. This is great. Put that one in. That one. I think I'll skip that one. I'm not crazy about it. And then that one and the pink one and this one, and just going to trim this off. Actually, no, I don't like that very much. I'll make a small page here. So this one will go here, and the pink one, and this one, and then I want something similar for the back cover. So that will go in a different direction. And let's see what we can do with that. I think this one, yeah, that one will work. The colors kind of work together. Okay, so this page goes here, and then I do want one more piece in here. Let's just use this one. So this will go between the back cover and the back page, facing the front, and then the back cover will go like that. So this is basically our signature. This one looks a little bit too big. It doesn't really matter. They don't have to be exactly precise. Just turn it this way and see what that looks like. Still too big. Okay, I need to just trim this one down a little bit. Not sure why it ended up too big, but it's an easy fix. There. Okay. So this is basically our book. I'm going to leave that there for the moment and put this away. Now I'm going to put holes in these, and why is this one so obstinate? Oh, sure enough, look how crooked that was. No wonder it felt crooked. I don't know about you, but I don't like things that are crooked. I'm one of those people that will see a picture on a wall that needs straightening in a public place and go straighten it, because I think if it bothers me, it probably bothers a bunch of other people too. It just sort of puts my teeth on edge. Okay, now what I need to do with this is I'm going to take this piece and measure where I want the holes to go, because it's going to be held together like kind of like a binder, only nicer. So my piece is almost exactly 6 inches by 6 inches. So put it this way, and I want the holes to be, let me see, probably if I did 1.5 inches in. Yeah, I want them to be 1.5 inches in from each, from top and bottom. So I want to go through and kind of place them in the center. Otherwise they might miss the binding. And that this is just, you can just kind of eyeball it because they're kind of in the center close enough. Okay, I want one more. There, this is such a nice soft piece. I think you're probably looking at the top of my head now, which is not what I was after. And I think I'll put one right near the front. And put it, they have different texture on different sides. Put this one this way. All right, here's our book all lined up. Just make it as close as you can, because they're not going to be exact. The ones that came from the store are exact, but mine aren't. Now, what I need to do is mark all of these where the holes go. Yeah, this Sharpie. Sharpies are sort of juicier, so they deposit more ink. Okay, so here's my binding edge. I'm going to take this right where that is and draw a line down the edge like that. So that there's our where our binding is going to go. Now I have to cut them out with, cut holes in them with my punch and get them approximately the right distance in. So I think what I'll do about that is also mark that. I've got a little piece of paper here that I practiced on, and I want to say, I want to put my holes in. Here's how I'm going to do this. See how far in? I want my holes to go in a little bit farther than that. So that's about 1/4 inch. And I'm going to make a mark on my paper cutter, or my hole punch here, so that I know exactly how far to push the paper in. So holding it like this, and I am right-handed, I'm going to make a mark on the paper cutter, right like that. See? That's where I need to push the pages in to get my holes in the right place. So I can take a couple of these at a time, like this, go in where this line is, to the line on the paper cutter, and make a hole. Okay, so there's our first little group. I don't need these things on here. I'm just going to pick up a few more. So I'm going to do all these and then come back. Okay, I've made all the holes, as you can see by the confetti all over the place. I should be able to pick this up and look through the holes. However, turns out I can't. So that means something's misaligned, which is, you know, not surprising. So what I do now is just flip through here till I find the ones that are not lining up, and it was probably just because I didn't look at where the holes were well enough, or whatever. This one is off a bit, and is this one, and is this one. So I obviously cut them together and they slipped or something. So I'll move those over and see if I can make it work this time. That goes through to the end. So one of them I cut a little bit off. So I can easily fix this by just taking this one out completely, like taking it away, or I can just trim it down. And this one has its holes a little bit far apart, so I think I'll just move the hole a little bit. So that's the other thing you can do to fix the problem. This one I will trim with my trimmer because my scissors are in a different room again. I've been cutting out little ephemera things, and every time I want my scissors, they're somewhere else. So with that off, now it fits in the book. But like I said, it's not going to be perfect, so don't fret yourself. Doesn't matter because it's going to get fixed as it goes through the binding process anyway. Now what I'm going to do here is bind the book. And I have lots of different choices. Like this, pretty ribbon, more pretty ribbon. I've got rickrack, but I don't think I'll use it because it'll probably be hard to tie. I have these ribbons. I have really fine ribbon and some ribbon and cord here. I bought a bag of odds and ends of ribbon at a thrift store the other day. So I want something that's going to work with everything, and I can actually use more than one kind, but it has to fit through my holes. So this one, for example, which I think is a really nice color. Let me see. That's a nice color, and it would go nicely with this, or this one and this one. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit heavy. So let's discard those wide ones in favor of some narrow ones like this. I think this would be a nice one, and it might be nice paired with this or with this, and I think it needs tape perhaps. That's what I'll do. I'll make a little tape thing. All right, I'm going to use these three, and I need to find how this opens. That looks like it. This has already started to unravel, so that's no use to me. And this one, put them together, and this one, just going to kind of wrap it around them like that. And then I'm going to take a little piece of tape, just regular packing tape or Scotch tape, Scotch brand tape if you want, and make a tight little tube around the three of them. Wrap it around real well. Maybe push it down a little bit so it's longer. Like that. And they can just stay like this. I don't have to cut them yet because I don't know how long I want to have them. So let's just get them all going in the same direction here. And then I just have to feed them through the holes. So just keeping them kind of straight. Try not to miss any. And get as many at a time as I can. There, I'm through. See how easy that was? Okay, now I still need my pages to be kind of in line here. But what I'm going to do now is pull this through farther. Try not to get too tangled up. And I'm going to do the other side at the same time with the same little knotting thing here, just because I don't want to have to make it again. So, and this way I can measure as I go along, instead of cutting them and going, oh dear, I should have made that longer or whatever. Measure how much I think I'll need for tying the bows and everything, and then I'll cut them so that we've got two sets of binding ribbons. A bit like hand sewing, only faster. Okay. Now, one thing I could do is pull this through. I could bind it like this. And cut it and tie it at the front. Or I could bind it in two different pieces, which is, I think, that's what I had in mind originally, to have two sets of ribbons. And the ribbons cover up that black mark that I used to mark where the holes go. So that's not a problem. And again, I'm not making it so tight that you can't lay the book flat. And then just, well, come on, try and get them about the same, like that, and tie it in a bow. Sometimes it helps to twist them a little bit so that they kind of stick together a little bit better. Okay, you stay there, and you three go through like this, and there we have it. Okay. Now you can trim them off if you want to, make them a little bit fancy on the end, like corner-wise on the end pieces, like that. This thing can come off now, this little tape, and I'll cut that in a, like, you could do it as a diagonal or a V shape or whatever you like. So now here's our book, and look, I missed 2 pages already. So what I'm going to have to do is undo this bow and put them back in. I should have left that little tape thing back on there. But just to show you how it works is, because there's looseness in it, you can easily open it up to work on it, to write in it, to put your decorations on it, whatever you like. You can even loosen that up more. If I'd used only this slippery cord, it would be even easier to turn the pages. So I just have those two, and I have 2 choices. Either I can untie this and put them in, or I can just yank them out and say goodbye. But I kind of want them in there, so I'm going to do the hard thing, which isn't really that hard, and undo this one bow, like that. And I have to take this one off, this top side only, okay. And then I have to thread them through the other 2, which you can do one at a time. I wouldn't do the whole book like that, but you can easily do these ones one at a time, one ribbon at a time, or one or one paper at a time. but I managed to get them through there and through, come on, cooperate. There's 2 out of 3. Just wrap that around. There we go. There, so I've already measured it and I already know how it's supposed to go. I turned my light off when I turned my camera off because it gets so hot here. So now all I have to do is tie this bow up again. And again, just a little bit on the loose side, keeping these as together as I can to tie the bow. And it's totally adjustable too. You can leave more at the front if you want. You can leave these dangling. And if you want to say, okay, I've got as many things as I want in here, I'm going to tie a double knot in it. Then you can do that. Just tie another knot with your ribbons, or you can put some glue on them or whatever. And for the cover, if you want to decorate it, it's all so easy to decorate now. You just pop it open and start gluing things in and writing in it and adding pockets. And the fatter it gets, the more you loosen your ribbons. So I think this is just a super fun idea, and I hope you like it. Please subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you get the notifications, and I'll see you next time.